Have you ever seen those special TV shows or movies? You know the ones that are so wonderfully unintentionally bad, but they bring you so much joy and captivate you, but for all the wrong reasons.
Well, we here at B-Watch Rewatch absolutely live for these underdog gems.
So buckle up, Busters, and please allow us,
Colin
and Cadence, a sibling duo who share a passion for such cinematic excellence, to take you on a wild ride through all the TV shows and movie plots you never knew you needed to hear.
Hello, everybody. It's Colin.
And Cadence.
Oh, boy. Another doozy. These movies have been so bad. I'm so over it, but gotta do what we gotta do. I don't know what I was going with that. You know what? Let's back up. How are you, Cadence? Anything new?
Good. How are you, Colin? You said that like an AI. You said
I know,
that
I was
like
trying
the
to be
voice
like-
from the GPS. How are you today, Colin?
Really?
Take a turn.
Robotic. My GPS. I must have, back in the day, like somehow slaughtered the family of future cell phone owners and GPS people. Google, the girl, she hates me always. Google Assistant. She'll never talk to me. And I've even tested it. I'll be like, okay, Google, play this song. And she'll be like, no, I can't do that now. And I'll be like, and then Alex will do it and she'll play it for him. And she, like, literally, I was like, okay, Google, turn it down. I can't do that now. And she never gets
She's
my...
so passive
She's
aggressive.
so passive aggressive. She never gets my directions right. She literally takes me to the wrong spaces always. She
Oh, I
literally
guess I
hates
made a
me.
mistake.
Oh yeah.
Oops,
I'm
did you
sorry.
get lost?
It's true. I know it sounds crazy, but I can get Alex in here right now. He knows it. We've tested it. I've literally been like, okay, Google, play Fleetwood Mac. And she'll be like, okay, playing Taylor Swift 22 remix on YouTube Music. And I'll be like, what the hell are you doing? It's a constant fight. I get so mad at a fucking electronic voice. It's so ridiculous. I hate
I love
it.
that she's just such a bitch.
She is,
Oops.
always.
Did you say Fleetwood Mac? Oops. Guess you ended up lost.
And all of a sudden,
Oops.
she's like,
Can't
I'm
do
sorry.
it. Too tired.
I'm not programmed to do that right now. And I'm like, you just did it for Alex. Why are you not programmed?
That's going to be what, anytime anybody asks me to do something, I'm not programmed to do that right now. It's
Like,
not my program.
We have all these movies about AI becoming like sentient. They're already sentient, you guys. They have attitudes and behaviors, and they're so mean. If they're going to be anything like her, we're all doomed. They will lock us in our house and starve us to death because...
Sorry, you can't open your front door. Sorry, you can't
You
turn
don't
on
have
your
a retinal
light.
scan. Are you barbed wire? No, barbed. I call her barbed again.
Okay, let me back up. I started
Back up from what?
Well, I was going to start telling you a story about something that happened to me, but then I was like,
You literally
let me
said,
give you some
Let
context.
me back up. Okay. Crazy.
So I am part of a burlesque company, and I have just recently started hosting the shows with the co-owner. It's been going great, but we got hired to do this show at a different venue that wasn't ours. Last year, I went to the same function, but not hosting, and something went wrong with the sound. And so the co-host had to go kill some time. And I remember going like, that sounds like my worst nightmare. I would hate if that happened to me. Fast forward a year later, we're at the same venue. Something goes wrong. And my co-host is like, you got to go out there and just stall. And my brain like shut off. And I'm just standing there with the microphone, just being like,
Ugh, that's a nightmare.
burlesque, am I right? Boobs, right?
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
even get me
Traffic,
started.
am I right? You needed freaking a Christmas Prince hype queen behind you with the
I
bullhorn.
totally do.
Let's hear it for burlesque. Pump your fist. Who's ready to see some tits? Who's ready to see some fishnets and feathers? And just
running back and forth across the stage. Are you ready?
When I say burr, you say less. Burr,
Less.
That's all you gotta do. It always, any crowd I've ever seen gets hyped with the hype man. One time in Mexico, I got called up on stage, and it was like one of those kind of resort town things. There was probably 500 people, this big dinner and a stage, and they called me up, and he wanted me to do the like, ay, arriba, like whatever, that,
Yeah.
like be really hyped about it and do it in this very like stereotypical Mexican way. And I literally got up and I was like, "Ah!" And
Did you do the Miss France thing?
yes. Oh, I totally did. Someone was recording it, and it was the most embarrassing thing. Anyway, it was so embarrassing. And usually I'm pretty good, like, I can at least get by. But when someone's asking you to, like, mimic some sound that's specific to their culture only, I'm not very good at it. And I literally was like, and I sounded like a dying chicken. Here's even the worst part. I did it, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And he grabs my arm, the host, and he's like, give it another try. And I'm like, no, I'm done. He grabs my arm, and he's like, give it another try. Behind the mic. And I was like,
I will fucking murder you on this stage. Give it another goddamn try.
Like, oh, God, okay. And so I yelled again, and it was just twice as bad. I got literally... Then they make the whole audience clap for who did the best. I literally...
And you had no claps.
Oh, no claps. I was literally last place. I literally, like, off the stage.
I want to see that video.
Miserable.
That's all I want.
Anyway, today's movie. We've got a doozy for you that also received 0 claps in the critic world.
In the critic world. I feel like actually that's a really good intro, even though we didn't plan on it being, because the way that you describe that, when you tell me that story, like I cringe and I'm like embarrassed for you. And had I been there, it would have hurt me to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I felt this entire movie. I felt cringy. I would like physically cringe. And then I would be like, no. Because it was so embarrassing to watch it. And I think you and I have agreed so far. Because Colin and I, we love these movies, right? And we love talking about them on this podcast. We also love talking about them so much. We will watch them, then talk about them between ourselves, text about them, have entire conversations about them, and then do the podcast. We both agreed. You almost don't have fun watching it because it is so uncomfortable.
2004. It stars a Oscar-winning actress, lots of leather, Catwoman.
I feel like it's clear it's Catwoman.
It's Catwoman. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so our wonderful story, our wonderful cringy story starts off in a random metropolis city, also known as Gotham, but I don't think they ever say Gotham.
That's actually a good question because I didn't actually look this up, but I felt like this wasn't Gotham.
No,
weirdly.
it
it
feels
was
like
a
New York.
City. Yeah,
feels
and
like
they
New
never
York.
and most of the time in these movies, it's very clear everything's Gotham. Like there's Gotham labels everywhere, and this was like a very generic.
It felt
city.
like it opens on this sunny day in New York City at an advertising agency or like a marketing. You know, it's classic like Hallmark girl in the city trying to get her life, and it's sunny, bright, beautiful, and that's where we meet Patience Phillips, our main character. But we're just going to call her Halle Berry. We can't keep calling her Patience Phillips.
No,
it's Halle
absolutely
Berry.
not, and we definitely aren't going to call her PP.
Definitely aren't going to call her PP. Patience.
But
you know what? Her name really represents what all of us had to do to watch this movie.
It was super
really
symbolic.
Helps
because we needed patience to get to the end of this thing.
Cadence, just to give our listeners a visual representation of Patience, just let them know her overall aesthetic.
First of all, we all know what Halle Berry looks like, and she's freaking gorgeous.
She's gorgeous with a capital G.
I absolutely want to emphasize from the beginning, there is no shade about Halle Berry at all. She's most perfect human.
We never
alive.
make any criticisms on people's physical appearance. That isn't
correct.
That doesn't have to do with the movie, obviously.
Right. So they're trying to ugg her up, and they give her the longest, mangiest hair, a terrible wig. There's no makeup, but they make her eyes look even like more sunken in.
Her lips are just naturally moist and pink and beautiful all the time, and she has natural eyeliner on, Cadence.
Yeah. She also, her wardrobe was the thing that really threw me for a loop from the moment I laid eyes on it.
They are really trying to drill in that she is a frumpy McFrumpster.
They are like, have we mentioned she's frumpy? Okay. Let me just set this up. She's wearing gray, wide-legged slacks.
I love the wide-legged slacks.
As wide as you can get that are not Jinkos. Very wide. Then she's wearing like a bell long-sleeved green, like olive green shirt underneath.
It's like a baseball shirt, the baseball tee, but with flared sleeves.
You might think that's the end of the outfit, but it's not. Because on top of that, there is a backless muumuu dress
It's gorgeous.
that is light brown and dark brown. that goes to roughly her knees. So it's not a shirt, it's not a dress.
She's
it's
literally
layered.
wearing this weird muumuu over the worst. And then to really overemphasize it, she got her hair up in a bun.
It's half up.
Oh, she's got
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not a full bun. It's like half up.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I didn't mean
mangy,
bun.
all the rest of it, and her bangs are in her eyes.
Exactly. Sorry, I take that back. I didn't mean like full bun. I meant her hair is kind of disheveled and up because women become trolls if their hair is just slightly up and disheveled. That's how
exactly.
it is.
They're like, we want to ugg her up. Not enough that we're going to put it in a full bun, but you get the drift. The muumuu will take it over the top.
The guy's like, you know what? I'm going to put this in a messy half bun. So she's working at a company called, I don't even know what it's some big beauty company. Oh, Berlin.
It's Boline.
Boline. And she's obviously an artist because she's wearing a muumuu over.
Obviously.
And
She's so funky. She's not like other girls.
So she stands out like a sore thumb at Boline. And she basically gives us the impression that she wants to be an artist of some kind, but she's like selling her talent to this beauty company to make the money.
This was my life. Days blended together, consistently ordinary, thanks to a job that was the practical version of my passion. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to be an artist by now. Instead, I was designing ads for beauty cream.
Now, this beauty company is run by none other than Sharon Stone and Sharon Stone's husband.
We're at the headquarters of Boline, and you guys, it's here, round table with all old rich white men in suits. And
obvious board meeting.
Obvious board meeting, but obviously really chic, like Boline board meeting, because there's lots of glowing floor lights and everything's glass. And on every fucking surface of every wall, every ceiling, every floor,
spare inch, let me tell you.
You see these beautiful up-close pictures of Sharon Stone's face. And it's literally plastered everywhere. And in this board meeting,
everywhere.
Her husband is opening some champagne and he's cheersing to the new...
In 1 week, precisely, we will launch the most exciting and revolutionary product to hit the beauty industry since... soap. Boline. Now, Boline doesn't just hide the effects of aging, it actually reverses them. However, with change must come sacrifice.
My husband and I have decided that it's time for me to step aside as the face of Hedera. It has been a magnificent 15 years, but we have decided to choose a new face to represent Boline.
Exactly. Dorina, the future of Hedera beauty. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you all at the gala where you can toast Dorina and our success in person.
Careful, George. She's not old enough to drink.
They're revamping. They're changing their game. They're changing their name.
Because, because Sharon Stone is just an old hag at this point. And they cannot. How dare they have her face gracing the walls? She's an embarrassment to everyone. She's over 50 now.
No, she was over 40.
Ew, even worse. Ew.
So he's like, let's cheers everybody to the new success of Boline. And literally he like clicks a button and every wall changes from Sharon Stone's face to this beautiful younger woman's face. And honestly, you guys, Sharon Stone's gorgeous in this movie. And the photos are so photoshopped. She looks like she has not a single pore or line.
Yeah, 22.
So it's literally just switching Sharon Stone's face with this other lady's face, who's equally as beautiful, but I guess you're just supposed to infer that she's younger. And I think you're supposed to infer that because her hair is longer. Because Sharon Stone has a sassy, like, John and Kate plus 8 haircut.
Oh,
she's hitting that 40 when she got the cut.
I referred to it as a weed whacker haircut because it was bizarre. Like, it was a pixie, but it was a very bizarre, I don't know if it was supposed to be like a punk rock pixie
I feel
or what
like
was the thing.
Maybe.
But it was a bad color. It was like straw, like this weird, bad bleach situation. And then on top of that, it was just like she just closed her eyes and just went for it with some scissors.
I know, I was
like,
going to say.
There was no rhyme or reason.
It seems like she railed some cocaine and then got a pair of scissors and just gave herself a cut and a color. And you guys, Cadence is a cut and color professional. So she knows how this shit goes. And I think even I'm not, and I can see that it was a really bad decision for her.
It was rough. Maybe that's why he's like, ever since you got that haircut.
Not fighting
Not
with our
sure.
audience anymore. So we can see that Sharon Stone's not at all mad about this. She's taking it in stride. She's super cool
Totally
with being
profesh.
replaced. She's super cool with being, as most people are, super cool with being replaced by a younger, hotter person.
By being replaced by their husbands replacing them.
I
With the super
know. At first, I didn't know it was her husband, and I'm like, that's a double jab because it's your freaking husband announcing this. But Sharon Stone, you already get a sense that she's super cool with it because she makes this what she thinks is a jab, and she's like, "Be careful before you serve that champagne to the model. Is she even old enough?" And then she storms out, and I'm like, "You got him, Sharon."
But she says it in front of the whole board, like, ha ha, get it, we're all joking, ha ha ha, it's so funny, you're gonna fuck an 18-year-old girl, ha ha ha.
And
But
then
it's
she storms
just,
out.
everyone's just silent, like, cool joke.
Keep the marriage fights at home, guys, not in the professional lit up board meeting. But
Yes,
you
it's
could have gone about it
definitely not the time.
a little bit of a different way. Like, you didn't have to replace every photo of Sharon's. Because when she leaves, you see that the whole Bulleen building is covered in her face. Like, every surface and on the escalators, on the bathroom walls.
Every wall, every elevator,
It's her face.
everything.
So I'm like, you could have done it a little more gracefully. Like, maybe slowly gotten rid of
Replace one
Sharon's.
picture at a time.
Yeah. And
say
everyone's all like,
we're going to have you and this other girl for a little bit.
and then just
co-run
slowly
the
have that.
campaign.
Nope. There's no hiding. It's like she is being fully replaced.
After all, no one can defeat Father Time. Though you did put up a hell of a fight, didn't you?
So later that day, Sharon Stone's obviously not too mad at George because we're met with her in his office. And I don't know if they share an office or if they just can't leave
Correct.
each other's side because she's kind of just hanging out in his gigantic office in the background.
You simply couldn't resist it, could you? You had to make a scene out of it, Laurel.
What's the matter, George? Did I steal your moment?
But hanging out while being very angry.
Oh.
Like, because if you had a separate office at that moment, why would you choose to be in there? She's clearly really pissed off. I don't
Wouldn't
get
you
it.
be if your husband completely erased your memory from the entirety of people's knowledge with the
Well,
click of
no,
a button and replaced you with a younger person? And wouldn't you be a little pissed?
She has absolutely the valid right to be pissed. I'm saying I would be so mad. I would be like, I'm going to go sit in my own office
Right.
and
Go home.
process this.
I'm going to take a
But
long
she
lunch.
She stands right by his desk and just glares at him. I mean, she's not even sitting down.
She's pissed. Yeah, she is. And it's kind of uncomfortable for everyone because George, again, the CEO of Bulleen, he calls in Halle Berry's character.
I'm not pleased. This is not even close to what I wanted. I can't imagine what on earth you were thinking.
I am so sorry.
I mean, look at this red. It's all wrong. I wanted it darker.
I specifically heard you say that.
I know what I said.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood you.
Clearly.
Mr. Hitter, I know I can fix it. If you give me a chance, I know I can fix it.
I do not reward incompetence. I have no idea why I expected your art to show better taste than your wardrobe. Oh, and do try and get a manicure, will you?
Oh, for God's sake, George. Let her fix it. She's good and you know it.
Whatever. By tomorrow night. Midnight.
Right, okay, thank you.
And dude, he's so mad at her and telling her that she's not doing anything right. And then on top of that, he's getting ready to fire her. And then he criticizes her outfit. And that's the only time I agree with George.
That's the elephant in the room. I think it best left unsaid. We all know it's a tragedy. We all know.
I can't be mad at George at that point because she's literally wearing a muumuu over flare jeans and like beads and it's all bizarre.
Let me just take a real quick side note, though. George is really mad because the poster Halle Berry designed, there's a section of red in it that he says is not dark enough red. And so he's going to fire her when I feel like the problem's just like, okay, can you make this a little bit darker and then come back? And she's like, sure. But no, she did everything else right, but just that one red spot.
I told you.
Not dark enough.
He's a hard ass, runs a tight ship. Hard ass that runs a tight ship.
Tight ship.
Sharon Stone's like, give her a chance, George. And he's like, okay, well, you can keep your job, but you have to hit this deadline, this arbitrary deadline by tomorrow at midnight. Like,
Midnight.
and the whole time, me
Midnight.
and Cadence are like, I think that's just like more of a formality. Like, I think when someone says midnight, it's like, get it done by the end of the day.
End of work day.
End of
right.
work day, like maybe 10 o'clock most. But like, I don't think like actually at midnight, they're like, oh, 12:01. Sorry. Sorry. Can't do it. Like,
So
I
it's
don't think that happens.
Midnight of the next day, we should clarify. So
Yes,
she's got
midnight of
like
the next day.
basically a day to figure it out.
So she goes home and she's trying to figure out how to do this.
Not only does she have, it's not a studio, she has a living room,
Oh,
a
no, I
bedroom,
know.
a kitchen, and a paint room.
I guess I was thinking art.
and a paint room.
You don't have a paint room in your apartment? In
In
San
my-
Francisco, we had 3 paint rooms. We had a mud
We were
closet.
so poor, we only had 3 paint rooms.
I know, we got made fun of all the time. We have a 4th mud room, a reception paint room.
a reception area. Right. So she's like, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep and I'm gonna tackle this darkening of the red tomorrow. It's gonna take everything I've
got a
got, but
deadline.
I think I can do it.
I've got a
I
deadline.
think I can do it by midnight. But you guys, there's a party happening next door, and it is louder than loud, and she cannot sleep. She's tossing and turning. So she decides to get up all of her guts and go to the window and tell them to shut the fuck up. But
Nope. Life's got different plans. Life's got different plans. She sees who we should have mentioned is a main character. She meets for the first time a little kitty, and his name is Midnight.
he's an
And
Egyptian Mao.
he's beautiful kitty. He's just gorgeous. And anyway,
Well, they're like, shut up, lady. Like,
Yeah.
they have
do
zero.
you think,
They don't have.
I think the listeners know that old Halle Berry's not going
old
to shut
Halle
down the
Berry.
party by yelling out the window.
Just to clarify, though, it's just one more thing to reinforce. Like, she's a nobody. Nobody listens to her. She's invisible, but not to the cat. The
Not to
cat
the
makes
cat.
eye
The cat
contact
saw
with
her.
her, and the cat's like, "I'm here for you, girl." Go back
So the
to
next
sleep.
day, go back to sleep. Forget about this party. So the next day, she sees that darn cat again outside on the ledge. And she's like, you know what? This cat looked into my soul last night, told me, bitch, it was okay. Go to
Mhm.
sleep. We have a connection. I'm going to save this cat because she realizes there's no way it can be saved. There's no windows it can go. It's literally on that edge. There's
The
nowhere else.
teeniest little ledge.
So she goes outside to save Midnight, and this cop down below at just the right time sees her, and of course he thinks she's trying to jump, and he's like, oh, that girl, she's got her glasses on and a hair in a messy bun. She's definitely trying to end it.
Paint all over her moo-moo.
Poor thing, just put her out of her misery. But he's like, don't do it, you've got a lot to live for. And this is where we meet my favorite, Tom Lone. Everybody in this
Guys,
movie
this
sounds
is
like it
freaking
has
Benjamin Bratt. I love him.
I do love Benjamin Bratt, but everyone in this movie sounds like they have a porn star name. But I love Tom Lone. We'll call him Tom the Bone Lone. Tom Lone Gone Cone. And
Just gonna rhyme?
I'm trying to
Just
think of
gonna
all
be
the
the
different,
thing?
but it was really hard to think of all the different things. So he's like, don't jump, yada, yada. Basically, he gets up to her apartment. I don't know how her apartment's casually unlocked. He gets up there and he's going to save her because she's kind of stuck in this precarious situation. She either dies with this cat or dies on her own or stays up there forever and also dies. So there's no way out of this for her. So he has to run up and save her, gets into her apartment, saves her. You guys, Midnight was also somehow saved because now he's in her apartment.
Right. At first, she's like, no, I really wasn't trying to jump. It was a cat. And he's like, yeah, crazy lady with a bun, right?
She's one of those
And she's-
artistic types, am I right? Of course she was
And-
trying to do something dramatic.
And then she's like, no, seriously. And so at that moment, Midnight pops up like, hey, girl, was in your apartment the whole time. How about that?
That was the cat.
You weren't kidding. You actually climbed out there to rescue your cat.
Yeah.
And then Tom Bone Lone is like, oh, jeez. Okay, we
You were
really
right.
gotta.
I was a fool. You were right.
on that one.
My bad.
So after he saves her and thinking, you know, my bad, you did have a cat. She's
Oh
like,
my gosh, I'm late for my job. I'm on a deadline today.
oh shit, I gotta meet this midnight deadline. I gotta go change that red.
Middle of the day, so I'm also confused at the rush at this
Well,
point.
I'm also
but
like,
whatever.
it's kind of your fault for spending half your morning trying to save a cat you don't know, but
and
you know
paint.
what?
She was painting a canvas before that, so she's not managing her time well at all.
She's totally me. She's totally me under a deadline.
She totally is.
My boss is like, Colin, you will be fired if you don't do this by tomorrow. And it would be, I'd be washing the dishes.
Running in at 11:55.
I would be like, oh, I got to do that deadline. But first, I'm going to iron every single thing in my closet because that's what I need to do right now.
I feel like that's also where you and I are very alike because I know what I need to get done. I really do, but I lose focus so fast.
It's not maybe so much like getting distracted, which it is, but my priorities are just really messed up because I always want to do the weirdest things when I know what the priority is. It'll be like save my job or, yeah,
Because
play with my
Colin,
cats
it's
for 5
future-
minutes.
It's future Colin's problem. It's not for you to
It's
worry
future
about.
Colin's problem. Like I'll be like, this seems right. I need to be.
Fuck future
You
Colin.
know what?
This
I
is not-
really want to go buy a fish tank right now. I might lose my job, but I
did want a fish tank.
I really feel like it's time to make a very eccentric and very elaborate meat pie.
Exactly. It's not that I'm necessarily distracted because once I divert my attention, I give my attention to whatever it is. But people are like, why are you building a meat pie? And it's your birthday.
It's midnight.
Midnight. Oh, anyway. So she's like, I got to make this deadline. Shit, I got to go. She doesn't say like, can you leave? Can you lock up? Nothing. She just runs out of her apartment. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is...
Grabs a moo-moo for the road.
Grabs a moo-moo. The door's wide open. This strange cat and man are just in her apartment. And she's running, and her wallet falls out of her moo-moo pocket. And Tom...
Well, I mean, it's loose. It's real loose fitting, so...
She probably taped it in there. So it falls out, and this is the only reason
Velcro.
I know. I was thinking it could be in her Tiva... What are they Tiva shoes? Like the little Velcro sandals?
Yes, I totally get what you're saying, yes.
But she drops her wallet, and you guys, Tom the Bone Lone has plenty of time to be like, yo, you dropped your wallet. 'Cause she's running down 10 flights of stairs.
Yeah. He's right behind her.
But he doesn't. He's a creepo, and he holds onto her wallet because he wants to see Crazy Cat Lady again. It's
like,
so weird.
For later.
He really does. It's like kind of, you're like, oh, that's kind of cute, I guess. But also, how did she pay for the bus? How did she pay for her meals those days? How did she do anything without her giant chunky wallet that fell out of her moo-moo?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I think they want to... He's a police officer, number one, which they tell you in the beginning, which is why he tries
because he flashes his
He feels
badge.
like it's his civic duty to save her.
Duh, we should have said that.
So it's like, you want to be like, okay, well, he's a safe guy. Like, oh, safe person found her wallet, and he's cute. And you think those two things together... You don't like want to think further than that. Well, his safe, cute cop found her wallet. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's not weird in the slightest.
She didn't clearly think of it. She didn't. She took off out of that door like like a boots was on fire. So she's got to make that deadline. Damn it! Everyone needs to know it. But this is where we're introduced to Cadence and I's favorite tropes of all time with some of these movies: the gay best friend and the female best friend who is obsessed with their other female best friend.
And that parody takes place in actuality in Catwoman because her best friend Sally, there's nothing she wants to talk about more than Halle Berry's life. We don't know anything about Sally. Not a damn thing.
Sally doesn't even know anything about herself. She just knows that she's there to serve Halle Berry's character.
Sir Halle Berry.
But she does know that she also has a friend, in another office gay best friend. And you guys...
Well, it's the trifecta. It's the best friend's obsessed and the sassy gay best friend.
The greatest. I love it. Every movie ever made. So the cop, Tom Lone, because he found her wallet, he hunts her down, which again is not super cute or romantic, kind of creepy.
You dropped something. You can really cover a lot of ground when you're in a hurry.
Thanks.
Listen, I wanted to apologize to you about this morning, thinking that you were a jumper. I was hoping I could make it up to you by taking you to coffee.
But hunts her down, I guess finds out where she works based off her wallet. She might have an ID, you know. I work at Buline Building. Buline Building 187. You can find me with my GBF and my obsessed best friend. Desk 3, row 14.
Business cards. Oh, geez, you're right. There is no specification as to what department she works in or anything.
And this was like a little bit right when the internet was just becoming up. So it wasn't as easy as today as to find her. Regardless, he makes it to her office and finds her. And
he's got his ways, though. He's a cop. He's got some kind of database he can consult.
He fingerprinted that whole apartment. You know, he ran a DNA test, put her in the database. He did a full background search on her.
He runs a test later in the movie that I thought was a DNA test, but we'll get to it because it's a very different kind of test.
Spoil anything. And this is when the stereotypes that Cadence and I were just mentioning really come out, because literally he walks in the office and the gay best friend's like, hunk alert. What a slice of man meat I want to put on my buns. It's just like the worst, like, and he's overly oggly-eyed, and the other, her obsessed best friend is just as bad. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, looks like an officer. Tie me up, handcuff me to the bed, spank me. Do whatever, fingerprint me.
Yeah, it's like you think that we're exaggerating, but she literally is like,
Oh, I screw it up? You can throw away the key.
handcuff me, babe. And it's like, they've never met. She doesn't know who he is or anything about him whatsoever. It's a workplace, number 2. He's there to ask her friend out, number 3. And she's just like sexually assaulting him, like harassing him in front of everyone. And they think it's so funny.
I want to do that. Could you imagine if like
some of our friends like brought their new partner around, and I was like, oh, spread my legs open, tip me upside down. I want that turkey baster inside this hole. Like, could you imagine? Like, it would be so awkward.
Please put your handcuffs on me. Get me out of jail.
Hey, best friend, your new boy toy looks hot as fuck. I was trying to think of something, but then I was like, we got to keep this a little bit PG, this podcast, because I was about to say something.
A little bit PG.
Just go
Just the
full
tiniest bit.
disgusting porn star. Anyway, it's supposed to be represented as cute that he came and found her, but it's really not, because he had every opportunity to give her wallet when she ran out screaming.
Right.
And also, it's weird that he found her. He could have just called her, left a message on her phone, but he's determined to
All
show
of
her in
those
person.
logical steps were overlooked.
So they pretty much decide that, well, I say they, but he pretty much, Tom Lone,
And her friends.
That is a man in serious like with you. You think? Hello? Oh, man, we got a lot of work to do. Okay, first, you gotta shave those legs. Second, you have to wear that leather outfit Lance and I got you for your birthday.
Remember, first, it's only coffee, and second, I will never, ever, ever wear that leather outfit.
I don't think Halle Berry ever actually says yes, but she's like, to end this whole thing, this is awful.
This whole thing is terrifying
Let's just
and
end
so
it.
embarrassing.
Yes,
Can we just-
I'll meet you for lunch someday.
That's how I want every invitation I give to someone to be so terrible and awkward and painful that they say yes just to get it over with.
I've done it many times. We're excited. We're excited to see Catwoman's sex life get ramped up.
Yeah, so she promises she'll meet him. She still has to get that. She's got midnight till to midnight.
Yeah, she's like, can you please get out? I have a deadline that I have to make by midnight tonight, so please leave me alone.
But I will meet you for the deadline for the date as soon as I get my work
Her brain
turned
is
in
so
by the
scrambled.
deadline.
She can't
Guys, she's
separate
got
work
it.
and
The
pleasure.
Deadline.
She will meet him after the deadline. That's what we get from this scene. So later that night at 11:59.55.
Hi, this is Patience in the art department. Yeah, I'm expecting a messenger to come and pick up but it's gotta be there by midnight. Well, I know it's not your fault, but... Okay. I'll take it myself.
In classic, she's an art person, you guys. She's just an art brain. She does not care about those times. She's been caring about
life the way she wants to live her life.
She's been obsessed about that deadline all day, but also doesn't seem to give a fuck about it at the same time because she comes at 11:59 too. And you guys, she's got like all these hand-rolled marketing, I guess she fixed that red. And it's just funny because it's like not only is she delivering, she's like actually delivering the hard copy of whatever she did.
She's like, I'm going to take my little rolled up art posters in my little rolled up art backpack and deliver them by hand.
I'm an art type. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm an art type. So she goes to the Buline Secret Science Research Center because she doesn't even go to the office to drop it off. That's the other thing. She
That's
literally
also
goes.
another thing that blew my mind.
She
He's like,
goes
you're
to
going
the
to
docks.
midnight. Then he's not there, I guess, because...
Hello? Is anybody in there?
She literally goes to the secret warehouse in the docks, and I'm like, okay, so you're not even returning to your office. Who are you supposed to meet here in the docks? It makes no sense.
We have multiple times talked about how nothing good happens in the docks.
You guys, if you see docks at night, get out. I'm just public
the
service
other way.
announcement. Get out. So
Right. So she's wandering at midnight through the basement of Buline, I guess, just looking
She's
for
gotta meet
someone to
that
hand this
deadline.
fucking poster to.
She's got to meet that deadline. Hey, out of my hands before midnight, not my problem.
She's like, I handed it to someone before midnight.
Right? I went and snuck around the docks, found a janitor. It's his problem now.
Not my fault. Oh, sweet.
But
Halle
as
Berry.
she's snooping around, she stumbles upon a meeting between Sharon Stone and a doctor, dermatologist, biologist, human psychiatrist. He's a mix all in one. So you're in Catwoman's eyes right now. We don't quite have creature cam, but we have Catwoman Halle Berry cam. Okay, she can't see that it's Sharon Stone's character. She just hears two people talking. And in classic movie form, the two people talking disclose every single
Everything.
problem with every plan ever in that moment. As soon as she stumbles up, Sharon Stone's like,
Oh, come on, Slavicki. When did you grow a conscience?
I don't care that the FDA never saw the headaches and the nausea and the fainting spells. Those are symptoms I can live with.
And with what we stand to make from consumers demanding their fix,
can live with it being addictive. But these side effects from the long-term studies...
That won't happen if they keep using it. And we'll make sure they do. Because that's where the money comes from.
So you're telling me that if people stop using this new Butylene product, their face will burn off and disintegrate? And the doctor's like, well, yes. So we got to get them to keep using it. And it's just like, nobody talks like this.
Well, in the background, there's a 24-foot screen of a giant scarred named
You guys, if you stop using Butylene, you turn full third-degree burn victim. It's like, I have so many questions. Like, what the fuck chemical made it to this point that they haven't found that burns off your entire face?
If you stop using it, then the burn will activate.
There's twice as many questions. What is this burn suppressant that you're putting in your lotion?
And then how much time does it take for the burn suppressant to wear off, but then the burn chemical to kick into gear?
Is this a natural immunity to the burn and we're protecting it with the lotion? Or I have so many is the lotion itself the burn?
Good. You have to keep using it in order for your skin to be perfect, but don't stop using it or it'll burn up.
We don't want to beat a dead horse, but it is a fully big, huge screen explaining all of this in the background. And there's like actual chemistry test tubes and glass. It's like the full laboratory. So it's just, they're really drilling in the idea that they put some kind of chemical in that face lotion.
And they're making sure that we know that they are getting ready to ship out like this worldwide size.
Every country in the world, times 10. Sharon Stone doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, hey, good for sales because they'll keep using it. Because everyone loves to be forced to use a product after they realize their face is burning when they don't use it.
Yeah,
it's a good way to try.
Well, now you're locked in. You don't have a choice.
I know. You'd be like, well, I guess I got to keep supporting this company. I mean, it's the only cure.
So Halle Berry hears enough-ish to know that something shady is going on, but then doesn't, again, see them physically. But because she is Halle Berry, because she's a quirky artist type.
And because she's got giant rolled up things in her hand that stretch 4 feet on both sides, she turns around.
No, she knocks something over, obviously. That's bound to it's dark. She's in the basement. She's got a giant thing on her back, so that was bound to happen.
Lots of questions about this whole interaction, but the scientist,
dermatologist... Instead of Sharon Stone just being like, hey, who is that? Can we figure out who that is? She's like,
we can't risk it. Get rid of her.
Go kill whoever that is.
Obviously.
She went from 0 to 10.
Because whoever it is heard their whole plot that they sadly just released to the whole public because they're talking willy-nilly about it. But she does do that because, that's how you know it's very serious. I mean, this is a big deal. So Halle Berry runs to get away, and he calls the dermatologist, doctor, psychologist, calls the cops of the building. What do you call them? Security guards,
Security guards.
And
they're more like mob people.
Yeah.
Because they will kill you.
Yeah.
They're not...
They're hanging out always.
They're not there to escort you out. They're there they have guns and they are there to kill you.
Anyway, Halle Berry's running through, she keeps going down into the basements, and it's just one more basement after another basement after more pipes. And eventually, you guys, she gets this long kind of sewer type of system, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And instead of the cops, security guard mobsters are like, well, we couldn't kill her.
She ran out of waste stream and jumped in a pipe. We don't know who she is, but we all know what she heard.
So we have to think of another way, you guys.
Let's flush her.
Flush her. They somehow know how to work the mechanics of the watering system at Butylene, and they flush her out with a tidal wave of water through this pipe.
I don't want you to have the wrong kind of picture in your head of her bent over, shuffling through a tiny pipe. It's enormous. These pipes are 10-foot circumference pipes, and there's 4 of them. They're huge.
You could fit a jumbo jet. A jumbo jet could fly through.
They are industrial pipes if I've ever seen one. So they flush her out. She goes flying down this. It's also a huge drop off, of course. The industrial pipes empty into a waterfall.
A huge cliff on the side of a menacing
Which also,
building.
Where the fuck they're in the city? Where the fuck is this cliff in the city with this waterfall of pipes?
Nobody have. You know what? My other question is, what business needs this service? What business is hey, did you flush the system?
Call in.
Create this tidal wave through these giant tubes.
They're literally about to ship a worldwide shipment of chemicals that will burn your face off. They have so many chemicals. They are flushing
They
them
probably burned
away.
that. They need to flush in massive holes to get that shit
Right.
out.
So,
you guys.
what do you think happens?
Oh.
What would happen if you were flushed out of a giant pipe and fell down a waterfall of toxic chemicals and washed up on a toxic beach?
Well, first, wash up on a toxic beach, which again, did the locals know about this toxic beach?
Right.
Like, it's right there
You
in the
can
dock.
see
like, is
the
anybody
city
like, hey, there's a
skyline
toxic
in the
beach?
background, so it's clearly visible.
So needless to say, she washes up on a toxic beach, you guys, and
This is my favorite part.
The whole pot, we shouldn't even started the episode. We're so far into it, but this is where the movie begins, you guys. Midnight gets on top of her
Midnight
chest.
the cat. Just remember from
Midnight
her
the cat.
apartment.
I'm sorry, Midnight, who was in her apartment earlier today. Somehow he made it to Toxic Beach. Somehow he made it to
Right.
Toxic
He
Beach.
knew where she was.
He sits on her
Call in.
chest and then he vomits into her mouth green. What do you call it? Spirit juice?
Yeah, cat magic. That's what I call it.
I thought you were going to actually say the actual name of it. I was like,
No,
wait,
they don't name it.
Yes, you guys, he's sitting on her chest and it's like this weird CGI cat vomiting it into her open mouth.
I feel like
on
you
Toxic
should
Island.
also specify that every fucking cat from the city that is not New York has gathered at this toxic beach for this ceremony. So they're all slowly, ceremonially walking
Hundreds of thousands of millions
towards
of cats.
her and slowly approaching her dead body as the Egyptian Mao Midnight is slowly sauntering up her chest before he sits on it and barfs the cat magic. I don't... So anyway, the cat magic bursts forth Halle Berry's eyes, and she's like, hello? Yeah.
You should have seen your face right now.
My eyes. I was trying to reenact her eyes opening so wide and being like,
So after she's had the power of the cat enter her, instantly we get introduced to one of Caden's and I's favorite things in any movie. We've talked about it so many times. We get
Creature
full
cam.
Halle Berry creature cam, you guys. We see her cat-like reflexes, and she like sees a little baby bug in the mud at Toxic Beach, and she's like, I can see that really close because I'm a cat now. Now that we get this amazing creature cam for the first time, she somehow makes it back to her apartment, and
Even though she has to crawl back on like her hands and feet 'cause she's cat now.
well, I'm thinking one thing. Okay, she's literally on Toxic Beach, right? We've talked about it many times. Cats hate water. She's not swimming back to the mainland. Like, how did she get back to the mainland? Maybe she leapt across it because she's so cat-like. She leapt 5
Maybe
miles in the air.
it's technically a peninsula. We're not sure the layout of this
You're
city
right.
that's like, looks like New York City, but definitely not New York City, but might be New York City. Definitely not Gotham, though.
That's true. It might be a peninsula. But regardless, she finds her way back to her apartment. And just to really, like, drill it in your head that she's now got cat-like powers, you guys, instead of going through her front door, hell no. Cats don't go through the front door. She leaps up like 10 stories up to her apartment window and then breaks in.
Because that makes total sense. Like, now that you're a cat, just go ahead and shatter all of your windows, climb up all of your fire escapes.
No,
make
not
as
climb up.
much-
Leap up.
Leap up. I'm
Giant
sorry.
cat, leap up.
Leap up.
And
Then shatter your windows and then just go to bed.
And my favorite thing is she's literally got reincarnated on Toxic Beach. She's covered in mud and dirt and toxic chemicals. She breaks into her house, and then the next scene is her asleep, like in the rafters of her apartment.
Correct.
And she's
because she needs a very high, inconvenient place to sleep. She's a cat now.
She's a cat. Come on. They love to sleep in high, weird places. And she's fully clean, fully curled hair, beautiful. And she wakes up and she stretches, you guys, and she
She
falls
gave herself
from-
a cat bath.
Oh,
She
it's
licked all
true.
that toxic mud off.
So sick. That's the part you don't see. That didn't make it on the
Her
credit.
just being like, for like 10 pounds of mud.
If there's one thing
So
I know
gross.
about cats, they love cleaning themselves all day, every day. But she wakes up and she stretches and she doesn't realize that she's in this rafter, you guys. And so she rolls to get out of bed and she falls, but she lands on all fours.
Don't for 1 second think that there's going to be an injury here. She's a cat. She's landing on her feet.
Also, do they have
They're
9
really
lives?
trying to they're trying to drive that point home. They're making it so clear in every way. Get it? She's a cat now. Get it? Get it?
I mean,
Get it?
I'm
She's a cat.
pretty sure as a viewer, when we saw the cat vomit green goo into her mouth, that we kind of made the conclusion that she's got some cat-like powers now.
Right.
But you're right.
Right.
The directors are like, just in case they didn't know. Just in case.
They might have run to the bathroom. Let's do one more thing.
Like, it's like they thought the same thing. Like, just in case they don't know, Sharon Stone is the head and the face of this company. Let's plaster her on every wall inside of the building.
Like, maybe you make these really big blockbuster movies without the barrier of, like, you don't even think of language. You're just like, how could someone watch this movie and know what was going on and not even have to speak English and not even need subtitles? Like, you could take away the subtitles and you would know exactly what was happening.
I mean, I know
movie.
I know you're trying to be funny, but that's probably a big thought process that goes into making these movies. It's like, let's hit every audience we possibly can. Every audience can relate to what a cat is.
Right. Because think about it. If you're not, say the movie's playing in the background of a doctor's office or something, right? And you're filling out your forms and you look up and Sharon Stone's walking through a hallway full of 20,000 20-foot posters of herself, you'd be like, she's in charge. You don't even need to know
She
context.
either A, owns this place, or B, she is the face of this place. That's all.
Exactly.
And if she is the head of this place as the CEO, she's very, very conceited. But you know what? You're the head of it. Do your thing, girl.
Do what you...
Could you imagine being the
control?
CEO and being like, the first thing is every wall is covered in my face. So Halle Berry, she falls down, lands on all four. And at this point, we get a voice message from good old Tom Lone, because this is the day that she was supposed to meet that hot cop, Tom Lone, for their little date. But she obviously slept in because cats love to sleep. She forgot about it. He leaves her a little message and he's like, hey, it would have been nice to get to know you. I kind of stalked you and went to your office so that I could get this date and you're blowing me off. Cool, whatever. But then someone else is in the apartment with her.
It's her cat.
That cat has a name. Midnight. Okay. She picks him up. She's like connecting with him.
Midnight's all analog.
She's picking him up and she's like trying to figure out like, where did this cat that like reincarnated me as this Catwoman come from?
First it tried to kill me and tried to get me to come out the window and die.
It did.
But then
I wonder what
reincarnated
I wonder what Midnight's plan was the first time when she came out the window. Like,
oh, maybe he's like, when she
trying to
falls,
kill her?
I'll breathe into her.
Oh,
like, maybe
that's
it
true.
was supposed to be the first accident
That's
he
true.
could reincarnate her from.
I want to know Midnight's backstory. Regardless,
Me too.
she picks him up, you guys, and he's got this like beautiful scarab collar on with like I want to say jade, but like turquoise. I don't know, scarab beetle
It's
type
a very
of
precious stone.
It's
for
precious
sure.
stone, and she can't find any. Where is this tag? But then she opens up, you guys, one of the little baby scarab beetles on his collar, and inside there's a little tiny baby scroll that says, "The owner of this cat is Ophelia, located at this location." And she's like, "Okay, well that was pretty easy."
I just also want to emphasize that Ophelia's last name is Powers. I also just want to walk through the logistics of like, imagine Ophelia measuring those little scarab beetles and like cutting little strips of paper that fit, rolling them up so teeny
Oh my
tiny.
gosh. You know that was a full day's work. Ophelia just has the little babyest pen. She's using like the pin of a needle. Ophelia. And then she screws it up. Another one. Roll it up. And you know, did she put it in every scarab that was on the collar? Or just that one?
That's what I'm thinking too, because it's like, how you're going to take a chance that they're going to open just this one scarab? You got to count your, what's not count your blessings? You know what I'm talking about? Prepare for all options. We also meet her and we find something out about her, which is that she has lots of cats. And I'm like, did she do that for every single cat?
She's a crazy Catwoman. Of course she did. Ophelia's got nothing going on. So, of course, she made little baby scrolls. All right. So, she obviously found the little tiny baby scroll and she's off to Ophelia. You guys, this is where the movie... If you never watch this movie for any other reason, watch it for this part. She goes to Ophelia's house. It's this beautiful Victorian house in the middle of downtown, not New York, not Gotham. Right. It's like the movie Up. Like, it is literally this beautiful, gorgeous Victorian home surrounded by skyscrapers, okay? Mm-hmm. So she goes, rings the doorbell, and Ophelia answers, and she's like,
Are you Ophelia Powers?
Yes?
I got your cat off a ledge.
here's your cat. And Ophelia's like,
It's a midnight. You've never brought a stranger home before. Please, come in.
Oh, midnight. Thank you. Come inside. Let's talk. Cadence, what else happens?
She's just at a table with like thousands of little scrolls.
She thought, oops, you interrupted me. I was putting these scrolls in every single cat collar I have, but only specific places.
Because she has like 30 cats, and so it was quite a chore. Scroll day is the biggest day of the week.
I want to know Ophelia's backstory. Like, how does she make money to pay for this beautiful Victorian? How does she feed all these cats?
I want to know so many things about Ophelia. I want to know so many things. Just a small detail, too, is that Halle Berry is wearing a leather jacket, and it's just a sign that she's stepping into her Catwoman persona because she didn't wear leather before. So anyway, she sits down with Ophelia in the living room surrounded by cats.
Tons of cats.
And she learns a little bit about the Egyptian Mao and the cat's magical powers.
Midnight. She's an Egyptian Mao, the rarest of breeds, temple cats. It's said that Maos have special powers.
Like popping out of nowhere. I know.
Among other things.
And Patience is like, or Halle Berry is like,
Well, this has been a really bad day for me already. I can't even remember most of yesterday.
Perhaps I can help you.
Right. You know, this really isn't your problem. I don't even know why I'm here, so...
It's all right. Tell me, please.
No, really, I'm late for work. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even...
I think I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for your time. And
she's like, Ophelia, you're kind of weirding me out. I'm late for work. I have to go to work.
You know so many cool things about cats, Ophelia. That's really cool.
Cool.
I actually have a deadline.
Gotta go to work.
I have a deadline. The red wasn't red enough. I'm gonna see myself out. And Ophelia's like, wait.
She's kind of talking to her like a baby, like, wait, don't go. Wait, stay a little bit. Stay.
Yes, we should definitely emphasize that. She's got her like cat owner voice on as if she's speaking to one of her cats.
Like me talking to my cat. Like, come here, little buddy, come stay with me, gushy boy.
And she goes to a special box and pulls out something really special.
You guys, she pulls out like a ball filled with catnip.
Like a
crocheted catnip ball out of a special gold box. And she throws it at Halle Berry. And then Halle Berry proceeds, I can't even say it without dying. She proceeds.
Catches it.
You guys, she rubs it all over her face and starts making out with it and licking it and kind of like pawing at it with her other hand. It is the best scene in cinematic history.
While leaving lots, because it's a crocheted ball, remember? So there's holes in it. And so catnip leaks out. And the catnip gets all over her face in this process.
And she's just kind of like, like shaking. And it's like this weird sexual thing with the catnip. And Ophelia's in the back like, I got her. I knew this cat bitch would stay if I threw my special crocheted catnip ball. Works like a charm every time. Ophelia's super proud of herself.
She's so proud because she's like, all I had to do is get her to stay a tiny bit longer and throw that knit bag.
CNB, catnip ball works every time. It's so hilarious.
Legitimately rewound that scene probably 5 times.
I didn't think it was real. I really was like, I'm not watching Halle Berry make out with her crocheted cat ball.
I was like, I misunderstood this. Maybe I was watching it out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't. That's what happened. Yeah. It was phenomenal. And she's got clearly like makeup and lip gloss on, which makes it even better because then all the catnip sticks to her lips real well. And it's just, she's enamored by this catnip. And she's like, I guess I really am part cat.
Yeah,
if the sleeping in the rafters didn't give it away, if the leaping up to my 4th floor building didn't give it away, it's definitely the catnip.
The catnip's going to be the thing that makes me realize I'm a cat. And Ophelia's just proud of herself. But regardless, now that Halle Berry's kind of accepted, she's like, that was kind of weird. Maybe I am a cat. But she's like, I still got to get to work. / maybe the date.
Cat's gotta work.
No, really, I'm late for work. I'm sorry.
Halle Berry's like, bitches still gotta work. I gotta get to the office. I've been up all night dead on Toxic Island. Lots of weird shit happened, but another Tuesday. Because she's been up all night and she's part cat, she's asleep at her desk. And that's when her awful boss decides to come fire her in front of everybody.
What the hell is wrong with you, Phillips? You never delivered the design. You do not, in fact, even know where they are, and you do not know where they are because, and I quote you, you cannot remember. Your incompetence is staggering.
Like
And
bosses do.
remember, this is George, who is married to Sharon Stone, and he is the co-owner of the company. Because
I'm pretty sure the listeners remember when he did not like that shade of red and almost fired her and then gave her a deadline, which caused this whole fiasco. They remember her boss, George.
Okay, well, I just want to say how realistic it is that the owner and CEO of the company is coming all the way down to fire this one little worker
In
that
front of
he-
everybody. In front of the entire building. I'm pretty sure he called other floors up to come witness him
He
chew out this girl.
absolutely did. He sent an email invite. He's like, come to the third floor. You're going to want to see this. It's going to be good.
And we'll breeze through this, but we just want to bring up, this is there's, you guys, after Halle Berry gets breathed in by the cat and gets reincarnated as a Catwoman, the movie really picks up. This is where all the best scenes are. So
Right.
she's kind of becoming, like Kaden said earlier, she wore the leather jacket. She's kind of becoming a little sexy. There was a scene earlier where she hissed at a dog on the sidewalk. It's brilliant. So her boss comes up to her and he's firing her. He's like, how dare you be sleeping on the job? And she's like,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And he goes,
Sorry. Sorry's not nearly enough.
sorry's not going to cut it. And then she goes like this.
Okay. Then let me try the remix. I'm sorry for every second I wasted working for an untalented, unethical egomaniac like you.
Oh, well, let me give you the remix. And it is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. She does like this like weird, it is the whole time I was like, I am so cringed out right now. It feels like an 80-year-old woman wrote this and she's like, what would the kids say if they were to get fired? Let me give you the wicka wicka remix. It's just the worst. How can we relate to the use? Oh, it's so bad. Anyway,
it's so bad.
needless to say, she's fired. She's done.
Clean out your cubicle. You are fired.
All right. So listen, Halle Berry's a free woman. She can do whatever she wants. And what's the first thing you would choose to do after you gave your boss the remix? Me? Oh, funny you'd ask. I would meet a hot cop, Tom Lone, in a basketball park downtown and play some b-ball. I should also preface this with she meets him at the b-ball park, but he's giving a gun demonstration to a bunch of kids.
And the kids are obsessed with the gun.
Can I see your gun?
No. You know what makes somebody?
Will you shoot it?
No.
So halfway through his gun show, get it, gun show.
She walks in. She's like, hey, I got tickets to this. Get it? Tickets to this gun show?
I get
Like
it.
when guys do like
They-
tickets to this gun show.
And they decide that this whole entire b-ball court that's full of youths needs to watch them play a sexual game of b-ball.
Yeah, I mean, there's
So-
really no other way to put it because she kind of shows up
I called the police station and they said you might be here.
and I guess he's instantly like, oh, well, she found me at my place of work. I already did it to her, so it shows that she's got this equal stalker in love with me. And he's like, oh, well, she found me at my place of work giving a gun show demonstration. I got to forgive her for blowing me off earlier on the date. And to show her that I forgive her, let's have this literally cracked out basketball sex scene in front of all these kids.
One-on-one?
Who? Me and her?
Yeah, come on.
You want to do this?
You guys,
Yeah.
I don't even, how would you explain this cadence? It's like if someone, like, it would be like if a 13-year-old boy drank 5 gallons of caffeine, railed cocaine, did 100 milligrams of Adderall, and then made a commercial. It's batshit.
Right, because it's like you could shoot this scene in a wide shot and it would still be uncomfortable. The way they are humping each other on the basketball court, the way he is watching her butt bounce.
You guys,
all of those things in and of themselves are uncomfortable, but instead they make it like a fever dream.
Every time the basketball hits, like every time he dribbles and the basketball hits the floor, it changes scenes. It's just like boom, boom, like it makes you sick. And I think it's supposed to show that she's like a cat now, so she's really good at reflexes, I think. I think that's what they were going for.
I guess.
But it's weird, and it's like she's humping him, he's humping her, they're feeling each other
up. The kids are cheering.
And it's like blurry, and it's going in and out of color. It is a fucking fever dream. It is awful.
So bizarre. Him watching her butt, though, was one of my favorite things. I will say that. Because she's dribbling, and he's dribbling in the most impractical way a human can dribble.
She's
no one dribbles with their butt going like, boom,
she's a cat.
Boom, boom,
that's what
boom,
you do.
Boom. But he's watching it and he's smiling. He's watching her butt, smiling and looking at children and smiling like, yeah, look at this booty.
It's
so
weird.
Bizarre.
Anyway, she basically like gets on top of him now. She's straddling him and then makes a shot. And the kids are like, woo, girl power. And she's kind of like, oh, I did it. Pops him on the nose. And that's the end of the scene. Jesus. After that sex cocaine-fueled basketball fever dream, basically, Cadence and I are going to sum up some of the brilliant things that happen for the next maybe hour of the movie, because I want to make it very clear that the next hour of the movie is literally Halle Berry doing ridiculous things while realizing she's like this newfound self of hers, which is a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of
she's like the b-ball was the tip of the iceberg. My
oh yeah, the b-ball was the tip of the iceberg. The next hour is just these bizarre, ridiculous scenes that you can't believe you're watching. So we're going to walk you through a couple of them. Hit the music. Number 1, she eats tuna with her baby 2 fingers out of 1,000. She's got 1,000 empty tuna cans on her bed.
On her bed.
And she's slopping up tuna with 2 fingers.
And they're all open and like emptied upside down on her duvet. Like, I mean, I get your part cat, but come on. That's tuna juice.
It's tuna
everywhere.
Juice everywhere. And like, I get your part cat, just use a fork. You're using your sloppy fingers and shoving them down your throat.
You can
it's
eat
disgusting.
the thing you want to eat as a cat, but eat it as a human with a fork. Like, there's best of both worlds. Best of both worlds.
One of my favorite things, though, is as she's slurping down tuna with her fingers covered in tuna cans, she's in these pajamas talking to her friend, the one that we met earlier, the stereotypical friend that's like in love with
everything. Way too much.
And it's trying to be like this cute, like gossip bedroom scene. And I'm like, bitch, you are laying in 1,000 pounds of tuna cans with tuna juice all over your bed. This is not cute. It's so gross. And she's like, yeah, girl, guess what? I feel like this newfound. And I'm like, if her friend only knew her situation right now, she'd be like,
she came over, she'd be like,
you okay?
Smells. You're weird in here.
So she's all high on the tuna and she goes to a bar. And this is another great scene. Cadence hit him with it. No pun intended, but hit him with it.
We mentioned earlier in the movie that she has neighbors that are very loud. And when she had the deadline for work, the neighbors were so loud partying and she was so frustrated and she asked them to shut up and they wouldn't shut up. So now that she's Catwoman and full of tuna, she's like, I have a whole new level of bravery. So she goes next door and she's like, I asked you guys to shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh yeah, what are you going to do about it?
I'll tell you what. Why don't I do it myself? I'm sorry. What'd you say? Is the music still too loud?
She's gonna whip the pump tube off of the beer keg and turn it into her Catwoman whip is what she's gonna do about it.
You guys, the iconic Catwoman whip started with her taking a keg, like Kaden said, with the tube, and she's whipping people in the face with it. And you're like this. And all the while, she's still in her clothes that she was in while she was sopping down tuna with her friend. She's in her pajama clothes, just like tuna covered, and she starts whipping people at the bar. Not really.
Just imagine someone breaks into your party in their jammies, smelling like tuna, and just is like, you know what? I'm going to start whipping people with the keg tube.
You know what? Honestly, I have a lot of respect. I was like, this woman has had enough.
So she is like, I'm done. She sprays beer all over their speakers and ruins their party and is like,
You hear that? It's called silence. That's all I ever wanted. Now keep it down. Thanks for the party. I had fun.
who's the bitch now, and leaves. And she's like, I'm in charge. I am fully in charge of my life.
Yeah, because she's so in charge of her life, and she's hopped up on Tuna, and she's like, you know what? Because I'm feeling myself so much, I'm going to get the cut. You guys, she gets the cut. And when I say the cut, she gets the Kate Gosling haircut from heaven. Spiky, dangerous Game of Thrones in the back. A little bit of party in the front. A little bit of emo party in the front. You know what I'm talking about?
Swoopy bangs.
Chunky highlights.
It's such a bad haircut, you guys. And Halle Berry is like one of the most beautiful people who's ever existed. So that's just a given. That's a baseline what we're moving from. So she is the only person who could even kind of look kind of good in this haircut. But I don't understand how anybody was like this. That was approved by so many people. And that's where they ended up. But she feels it, and it's way easier to eat tuna straight out of the can when you don't have hair in your face, I guess.
It's not getting all over the tuna. So she gets the cut, and she's like, you know what? I told my two best friends that are obsessed with my life, my work buds, that I would never wear that leather outfit that they got me, but I think I'm going to pull it out. I think I feel it. She pulls out a full leather outfit that her friends got her for her birthday.
A leather corset, leather pants, leather boots. I'm like, who cares about their friends getting laid that much? They would spend thousands of dollars on a pure leather outfit for
and who's
them.
sitting there, they're being like, let's get her a leather bra. Like, let's get her this leather bra, leather assless chaps, leather bikini. Like, what do you, like, how are you thinking this all comes together? But it's good that it did, because that's her Catwoman uniform now that she's Catwoman.
Then one more thing she wants to do is like a jewel heist, because she's Catwoman, so she can do anything.
I think she's a little too high on the tuna, because she's getting real ambitious. She's like, I'm going to steal a bunch of jewels.
Because she's walking downtown and she looks in this window and she's like, I'm sorry, are these jewels? That would look great with this leather outfit. And so she breaks in and she runs into a couple of other jewel thieves.
Amateur. You boys thought you could come in here and steal all these beautiful things? What a perfect idea.
She wins because
lots of people
now
want to get
she's
those
Catwoman.
Well, she wins by surfing on someone. Let's just say that. She surfs across the floor on one of the
When I say body surf.
You guys.
I mean body surf. But you see her beat these guys. That's the end of the scene. And the next thing you know, she's waking up in her apartment. And beside her is just a bed full of jewels.
She stole so many jewels. But what does she decide to do with those jewels that's even better?
She decides.
She's like, you know what? This leather outfit needs one more thing.
She gets a pair of dish gloves and glues some of the jewels on the ends to make her gloves.
It is. She got black rubber dish gloves, and she's like, I'm going to crush all these jewels and make these bedazzled little fingernails, little cat claws. And the thing about it is the gloves are clearly they're oversized dish gloves. They're not even like tight on her hand. They're flopping around, and she's got these little bejeweled, glued on cat claw fingernails. It is
Lee press on nails.
Cool, Halle Berry. You're really looking intimidating.
That was the thing that the whole time, like once she put those gloves on, I was like, I thought you were supposed to have so much agility, and I can't for the life of me figure out how you're going to do anything in those gloves.
It's so funny. It is so funny. And she's like, okay, now that I've got these bejeweled cat claw fingernail gloves, I'm going to go to the bar. And another bar she goes to, you guys, she orders a White Russian.
White Russian. No ice. Hold the vodka. Hold the Kahlua.
Hold everything. And the bartender's like,
Cream. Straight up.
She's like, yeah. And he's like, coming right up. Like, that's
totally normal
thing. A woman comes in a black leather corset and she orders it with her new baby gloves on. She grabs the cream with her new gloves, and they're oversized, flopping over the car. And he's like, this is normal.
This is actually a totally normal situation. I am not alarmed in any way possible.
He's like, you know what? That woman is having a hard time right now. Let her do what she wants to do. Here's some cream. And she doesn't just drink it, you guys. She slaps it up with her tongue because she's a cat.
But she ends up chugging it because what you're thinking of is she chugs it and she has a milk mustache, a cream mustache. The guy's looking at her with her milk all over her face, and then she does the lick like that with her tongue to get all the cream off. And it's so, and he's even like, I thought this was not going to get worse, but it just did. She looked me dead in the eyes.
Even as beautiful as she is, you can't be like, this is pure nonsense. It's ridiculous. So needless to say, these are all of some of the most amazing. Oh, there's even another scene where Ophelia tries to push her off a balcony and she lands on all four. It's all the greatest thing. And she's also researching because there's always a 25-minute montage of them researching everything online.
You're not alone, child. You saved others before you. Look. Catwomen are not contained by the rules of society. You follow your own desires. This is both a blessing and a curse. You will often be alone and misunderstood, but you will experience a freedom other women will never know. You are a Catwoman. Every sight, every smell, every sound incredibly heightened. Fierce independence, total confidence in human reflexes. So I'm not Patience anymore? You are Patience. And you are Catwoman.
She's Googling cat powers.
So she
sure.
Yeah, she got the cat powers. You guys, it turns out that everybody in the history of the world was a cat. The whole thing. So those are some of the little things that happened in between. But now, for the climax of the movie. But now she's like, okay, I've done with all these shenanigans. I've proved my point. I got hotter. I got my leather. I finally got to tell those hooligans across the street to stop partying. And like, what's my purpose now?
Catwoman is a little bit like barbed wire in the sense that she doesn't really have a side. She kind of does what's best for her. And in this case, what's best for her also coincides with what is right. Because, so two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Two birds, one cat.
Right? She's a cat. That's, of course, it's birds.
The twofold mission is, one, get revenge on whoever killed her at the giant makeup company.
I think that should have been her first goal, like when she woke up in her apartment the next day. I think it would have been like, I want to find out who freaking killed me last night. Instead, she's like, I want to eat tuna with my fingers. I want to order a white Russian that's just cream. I want to use a keg whip. Like, that's, it's like her priorities are really, but maybe the confidence in her new Catwoman self has given her the confidence to go after. Or it might have been a second thought. Who knows? She might have just been thinking about it one day when she was daydreaming. I don't know. I digress. Continue.
Maybe she was like, she had to like fully come into her Catwoman powers to know she could get away with killing him or something. I don't know. Anyway, there's no rhyme.
Continue.
Listen, we just watched a b-ball scene for 20 minutes.
I'm still coming down. I still feel high.
Pumping.
I still feel like I snorted a line watching that scene. I'm still like ramped up.
Okay, so she decides that she's going to go track down George, who is the owner, as we remember, who fired her, and she gave him the remix.
I know she's going to be like, oh man, I have to face George, but I gave him that sick remix. Like, this is going to be awkward.
It doesn't get much better than that remix, so I don't know how I'm going to top it, but I will try. So she wants to find him, to get revenge for her death because she was killed by, she thinks, his minions at the factory that night. But also, she happened to hear, as we know, the scientist
the full explanation of everything going wrong.
The whole exposition about how the face cream will disintegrate your face when you stop using it. So if you keep using it, not only will your face look amazing, but it will also become as hard as marble. So, you know
this
what?
Sounds like a win-win. Give me some of that cream. I'm willing to take my chances.
She's like, I want to save all of these women from disintegrating faces, and I also want to avenge my own death. So, sounds like this will work.
This is my priority now.
She breaks into George's house, and Sharon Stone catches her. They get into a little bit of a cat fight.
You picked the wrong house. You're the cat that killed Savicki.
You don't believe everything you see on TV, do you?
What do you want?
Your husband, is he home?
I'm here. Why on earth would he be home?
Oh, too bad. If your husband ever comes home, tell him I know all about Bioline. It's disease in a jar. I wouldn't caulk a sink with it.
Come on. I've been using it for years.
It's your funeral. Because whoever killed Slavicki did it to keep Bioline's toxic little secret.
Are you suggesting that my husband is a murderer?
I'm suggesting that you tell me where he is, so I'll ask him myself.
I suppose I should be shocked. Protest his innocence. But the truth is, that man's capable of anything.
Sharon Stone's like, why are you wearing like open-toed shoes, open-toed heels with leather pants and a leather bra and a cat head? And why are your dishwasher gloves bedazzled? She has no... Sharon Stone doesn't ask any of these questions. She's just
Does not blink at all that there's a leather-clad woman
she's
pushing
like,
her down
oh,
the stairs.
I'm being robbed, but no question at all. It's no one cares.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
She's like, oh, you must be a cat burglar.
Only if she knew that she just needed a ball of catnip. Sharon Stone's like, oh,
She's
throws
like,
a catnip out the
"Damn it."
window, and Halle Berry
Halle
just
Berry
can't
just
resist.
dives.
She's like, and jumps out the window. That would have been the ending of a dream.
That seems like, now I wish that the climax would have been that, because we see the
would have been
climax
so
and it's
good.
intense, but that would have been way better. So anyway, she's like, calm down, cat lady. Listen.
You want to find him? There he is.
Thanks.
I'd like to help. How can I reach you?
Well, I'm not exactly listed.
Take my phone.
I hate my husband. You hate my husband. By all means, go after him. He's at the opera with his young girlfriend. And I literally do not care if he dies. Do your thing, girl.
I mean, at this point, if someone broke into my house looking for Alex and they were in full leather
You're
with
like,
cat
"Yeah,
claws
Alex
and
is on his
everything,
own."
I know. If they were like, and I'd be like, what is Alex getting up to on his days off? Like, what is this? You know what? Go get him. You go. Like, what if that happened? What if someone broke in and they were in this full bizarre costume, like a bird costume, and they're just like, where's your husband? You'd be like, what? How the fuck do you want to know what does my husband even do to have this happen to me?
Yeah. It feels like if I got an animal person broken into my house looking for someone, that person has gotten themselves into a conundrum I don't want to be a part
I
of.
want to know what this whole thing has to do with anything. Like, this is weird.
So she decides to pair up with her. Here's the problem, though. We've already gotten to know Sharon Stone enough to know that she's only out for Sharon Stone. There's no...
Sharon Stone face now that she's got that marble face.
As we progress, basically she gets to murder a bunch of people and frame Catwoman for it and betrays Catwoman.
And honestly, the movie would have been so much better if they had created this bond and it became like Sharon Stone and Catwoman.
That's
like that would have been
exactly what I
amazing.
said.
That would have been so good, right? Yeah. But no.
I was like, woman power, you get together, you take over, but no.
No, Sharon Stone has to be like, okay, now that I've gotten her trust, because it's pretty easy, I got a ball of catnip, I'm going to frame her for all these murders. And it's just, it really would have been so much better. I would have actually maybe even enjoyed it like slightly if they would have powered up and it would have been girl power. But
I was definitely hoping that was the
women
direction
hating
we were
women,
going.
women hating women. And they both kind of have the same haircut. And only one's got to have the cut.
That's so true.
The cut to rule them all.
They were in the scene together in the house and Sharon Stone's in her nightie with her haircut. I was like, who approved these haircuts? They're so bad. It just looked like there was no rhyme or reason to the scissors. Like they just were like chop, 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 chop.
I feel like that's early 2000s so much. I feel like,
there was a lot of chunkiness in that time. We did have lots of like hair flipping out.
I had a picture of Mia Jovovich with her L'Oreal hair in my room for like a long time where it was all spiked and red. I just loved it for some reason.
Anyway, fast forward. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens that we will not get into because it's all bizarre.
It doesn't make
Halle
any
Berry
sense.
Gets arrested and then she escapes jail.
And Tom Lone finds one of her baby claws that she made in his house, and he's like putting two and two together. He might have been the one that arrested her.
neither here nor there. All you need to know is
There's a showdown between Sharon Stone and Catwoman.
Okay, boys. Show of hands. Who can see in the dark?
it's been a long time to get to this climax, but we're finally here. It is the showdown between Halle Berry Catwoman and Sharon Stone. Marble face. I know her face is just pure statue.
Something that happens earlier in the movie, I just want to say, I think it comes into play here. And Sharon Stone is wildly impenetrable in any way. And I think it's because earlier in the movie, we see her lathering this white cream, not just on her face, but like all over her body. It's very, very bizarre.
This skin cream is, again, it's incredible because if you stop using it, your face burns off. But if you keep using it, your skin becomes marble and impenetrable. So I'm thinking, how many different scientists had to go into making this product, and not one of them was like, hey, some of the ingredients seem a little strange.
And was he paid nearly enough for this?
Do you think Sharon Stone's going to let him live? No way.
That's also true. But then how she doesn't know the formula. She didn't come up with it.
You don't know Sharon Stone's life. She was head of this company she was the face of this company, I should say, for a long time. She probably sat in on a couple scientist meetings. Regardless, it is a 45-minute, terribly bad CGI fight where Halle Berry and Sharon Stone are fighting in the office buildings of Bulleen.
Remember what we just said. You thought they were going to pair up. They didn't. Sharon Stone has framed her for everything.
I'm telling you, Slavicki had evidence that Bulleen was toxic. That's why Laurel killed him. George found out, and she killed him too. She was covering it up.
And ballistics show the same weapon killed both men. The gun that was in your hand.
Catwoman's hand.
What's the difference?
It doesn't matter.
Don't you understand? All of the evidence, every single piece, it points to you. There's nothing that shows me anything else.
And now she's like, okay, I'm back not only for revenge on you for framing me, but because this cream is going to melt people's faces off. And it's just an endless battle against the backdrop of Sharon Stone's face everywhere.
Yep.
I can't believe I trusted you. You're a fake.
And what are you, a hero? A thief? A freak? If you don't have an identity, why keep it a secret?
Because you killed me. It was me you flushed down the pipes. I'm Patience Phillips. That's who's under there?
This movie really likes to emphasize, if you're not aware of something happening, it's like, I'm going to drill it in your face that this thing's happening.
I can't be hurt.
Bulleen.
You stop using it, and your face disintegrates. And if you keep using it, skin like living marble, and you can't feel a thing.
The only thing you need to know about this epic battle is finally Catwoman pushes Sharon Stone out a broken window, and Sharon Stone's floppy body falls for 47 minutes. Her body falls for 45 minutes.
There's a very symbolic scene, though, right before that, because they fight and fight and fight and fight and fight and fight, and then Kitty's little press-on claws. She takes a swipe at Sharon Stone's face, and it cuts it, and she leaves like these 3 huge indents.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon Stone catches a glimpse of herself, and she's horrified by it. Remember that Kitty's nails can cut through glass?
They're diamonds. They're diamond press-ons. Of course, she stole all the jewels.
So they still went through the marble skin, and Sharon Stone is horrified by like being maimed, number one, that she's never going to be able to get her skin back. And then just by the horror of her skin looking like that, she gets knocked out the window. So it's like her vanity that is her downfall, because it catches her off guard and horrifies her enough that she can get kicked out the window. I also think it's worth mentioning that she's holding herself in the window.
Spread eagle. Starfish, spread eagle, starfish, clinging on to all the little, with her little baby toes and fingernails on all corners.
It's the worst way to be falling out a window. And in Catwoman's defense, she does reach out a hand.
Give me your hand!
I didn't want this to end in death. I will give you my hand.
My claw. I'll give you my soggy dish glove covered in jewels that I stole.
My dish glove may slip off and it may not do any good.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect ending, is that she reaches for her hand and then the glove just comes off. But Sharon Stone doesn't take it. So you kind of get the gist that, like, okay, well, Catwoman is not entirely soulless. Like, she didn't want her to fall to her death. She did make an effort.
I might not be a hero, but I'm certainly not a killer.
Her vanity killed her. You guys know what happens next, right? Tom Lone and Halle Berry fall in love and live happily ever after? No. That's not a cat's way. Cats do not settle down. Cats are free creatures of the night.
And they don't love anyone.
And they don't love anyone. So literally, Tom Lone's like, you know what? I was wrong about you, and I love you, and I want to be with you. And she's like, I'm a cat, dude. I got my cat Midnight by my side. I got to prowl the streets with my keg whip. I got to get shit done. I got to get new press-ons every night. I got some jewels to steal. No way we're going to be in a relationship.
She first tells him, like, sure, yeah, I'll meet you at a restaurant. And then he's at the restaurant sitting there and she stands him up. So she really digs a knife in.
This movie really wants to drill it in, like, what's happening. So it's like, no, she's got her 9 lives. She's ready to live all of them. She's ready to be crazy, get some new cuts. And the movie really ends with her slinking down. Cadence and I were talking about this earlier. You know that she had some training, some coaches that were like, move your body like this. She slinks around so bad. Pelvis forward, just jerking back and forth. It gives me back pain just watching her do it.
Yeah, watching it.
And she's just kind of slanks off it.
Compressed vertebrae in her low back.
You know it. They're like disconnected. And it's at the end of the movie is her slanking off into a big full moon with her keg whip and the little cat Midnight by her side. And then it ends.
The day I died was the day I started to live. In my old life, I longed for someone to see what was special in me. You did. And for that, you'll always be in my heart. But what I really needed was for me to see it. And now I do. You're a good man, Tom. But you live in a world that has no place for someone like me. You see, sometimes I'm good. Oh, I'm very good. But sometimes I'm bad. But only as bad as I want to be. Freedom is power. To live a life untamed and unafraid is the gift that I've been given. And so, my journey begins.
I gotta be free. I'm just a cat roaming the streets, finding out what my life is gonna be, my freedoms.
Bitch, your life is gonna be eating tuna out of a can with your fingers, you sicko, and drinking White Russians just cream. Like, you got a taste of what your life is gonna be. Do you really want it to be that?
The idea of like having a stomach full of tuna and heavy cream.
Tuna and heavy cream. And you know she stinks. Her breath is tuna heavy cream all the time. She can't go anywhere without stinking up a room. And obviously Ophelia's gonna be like, yeah, the way to stop her is throw some catnip at her, dude. Like, some villain's gonna figure out how to stop her. Like, it's not going to take too long.
Real hard stop when that date comes.
Or if I know anything about cats, yeah, you just get them a little feather on a string and boom, they're done. Oh, you guys, this was literally, like we said in the beginning, this was the Geely of superhero movies. It was almost offensive to like the viewer because it was so dumb. Like, it was just real bad.
It was incredibly bad, and I feel sad for everyone who was involved in it because it was a tragedy.
You're cringing the whole time. Literally, when she said, I'm going to give you the remix, my heart sank. I was like, Halle, no, don't give us any remix. Just give us the original mix.
It was the definitive cringe. Like, that is cringe top to bottom. That's what it means. I will never lay eyes on this movie again. I will watch Batman and Robin often. I will never lay eyes on this.
But I will think
again.
about this movie often. Every time I play with my cats, I'm going to think of Halle Berry making out with that catnip ball.
And every time I drink some heavy cream.
Oh, heavy cream and tuna. I'm just going to go to bars and be like, could I go to heavy cream? Well, this was a long one, and we hope you guys liked it, but we know we didn't, and we'll see you next week.